I am a fool. That is one thing for certain.
Happy Wednesday. I just uploaded my part one of the State of Reality series. I'm going to do one every day of the week. Might take like, I don't know how many there's going to be, maybe seven or eight. I don't know. And then after that, I'm going to start Follow Your Heart series. And that one is actually more dear to me, but I really wanted to do the State of Reality series first because it kind of sets the stage of why you should follow your heart. And there's a reason why you should follow your heart because it forces you to grow, and you'll always be forced to grow if you keep following your heart, and your ambitions will change over time. Um, it's an interesting process. So I just got done making a video, two videos actually, about first one was uh well, it was kind of like a motivational speech. It's like, well, if you have a bad day, shoot for 2 out of 3. If you have, two bad days in a row, shoot for 3 out of 5. Eventually you'll hit 50%, right? Even if it takes, 1,000 days, right? And best 501 out of 1,000. Right. But and then the following video was just me being vulnerable, because when you're going to follow your heart, the people around you, most people are in a state of trauma right now. And so when you follow your heart, you're letting go of trauma. That's why you need to do it. And it's something that I needed to do, is let go of trauma. And you realize that I was just so sad because the people around you are in trauma, and you can feel that trauma more intimately the more and more you start to follow, because you're changing reality. You're actually pushing new ideas out there. If you follow your heart, you're trying to serve society. And it's because society is so dysfunctional right now, right? I mean, there's so much of it's just trying to control the other one. And when you're serving people, you're falling out of control. And so when you're following people that way, and you're trying to serve society that way, you have to continue to let go of trauma. And the only way to do that is to face it and let go of it. And I just put it out there. It's like, hey, look, I've been sad. And and let people know in my LinkedIn community, Facebook community, that I was, it saddened me that, you get them into communities, and sometimes people recoil because maybe you're doing something that they want to be competitive with, or there's so many different reasons out there. But you need to make sure that I wanted to make sure I went out there and say, hey, look, I'm sad, but I accept you for wherever you're at, because all of us have been in different places. You can't be judgmental of what anybody else is going through. You just accept people for who they are and where they're at. And so accepting people, and at the same time letting go and letting people know how you feel, will help them grow the same way that it's helping you grow. All of us are growing at the same time. There isn't anybody that's isolated here, right? We're one big consciousness. So it's important to follow your heart in that way, to make sure that you're letting go of trauma, and then you're actually letting other people know of where their traumas are at. Because none of us are in a position to where we're trying to control one another. We're just growing as a whole. And the only way that we're going to grow as a whole is if we pull ourselves out of the system and start following our heart to serve one another. It's the only way that this happens, right? That's how this whole organism grows into a beautiful plant. So, that being said, let's pull some cards, right? Let's see what's going on with the group collective. I mean, I haven't done this, and I do this every couple days. I don't know if I'm gonna draw cards every day, but I mean, I just feel like I'm in the mood for it, right? Well, why not? So I explain tarot like this. Tarot card readers, explain this every once in a while, but you're just pulling information, and then the same card might mean something different on a different day. Just depends what it says, how it looks to you, what kind of other cards it's sitting next to. My overall sense of what's going on right now is there's a change is escalating. So growth gets restricted. And so the more you hold on to emotional states and don't let it out, then the harder it is to grow. Not only that, but if you're keeping it in, even if you're going through it within and you're not letting anybody else know how you feel about them or how they're acting, then it's not changing you internally, right? Because you still have that communication gap. You still need to let people know how you're feeling. And so I gave a general, saying, hey, I'm sad. I am sad. And sometimes, I'm generally joyful, but I'm sad just for the fact that it's a journey. You have to be joyful of the fact that, let's look at the end result, right? Look at the bigger picture, because where we're going is so much greater than where we're at now. It's always better. It's not going to get worse. I guarantee you guys. As long as you keep following your heart. Just keep following your heart. I like this card. I don't know what that card's going to be. And this card is talking to me. So tell me in the comments how you guys are doing today. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll throw that out there every day. But tell me how you're doing. Just tell me about your day. Give me an affirmation. Say, hey, look, that really resonated with me. No matter what you're going through, share yourself with the people around you. And if you're not following your heart yet, just think about what you're doing. Is it making you happy? Is your day-to-day job making you happy? And if it is, great. And if not, just do its best, what you think is best for you. That's what all of us want to do, right? But holding on to things will never feel good. Okay, let's look and see what we got here. Oh, brother. So this is the first card, and this is a card that I've been seeing a lot, this competition card. It's never good to be in competition, right? We're always trying to work together, but that is the climate that we're under right now. There's so many people trying to sell a product and they're in competition with each other. It's like everyone's trying to win. It's like, well, that's why, I was building this, community project, because if we're working together, whatever it is that we have to offer, if we're working together to make that offering, that product is so much better. I know people that do amazing things, activations. I'm a spiritual teacher, right? I love to meditate and do my own meditations, but so many people are so much better at that. There's Reiki healers that are awesome Reiki healers. There's and if we're working together and not trying to compete against each other to create a bigger product, then the more people that benefit from that, right? So that's my truth. That was the next card. The Queen of Swords is just kind of, she's a little non-emotional. She just kind of throws it out there and says, this is the way it is. And then, this is kind of a lack of communication value, right? This is somebody who doesn't know how to use the wealth that they gave them, and they're not able to share that with the community. And so, when you're in a state where you're not sharing yourself with other people, then this is where you're at, right? So, but then we're gonna fire off after that and just charge, and then with our sword of truth to save the day, right? So this small draw here. Let's get more cards on the Four Pentacles here, because I kind of want to see, because that can mean several things, right? Wealthy. He's a wealthy man. Move forward. It's a good card. Move forward. And that's what the Knight's saying, right? Just keep moving forward. Keep giving whatever you have to the world, because you have something awesome to share with the world, right? All of us do. And all of us are unique with how we need to share. Surrender. This is one of the most important cards I think you can ever get. Surrender. And this is something that I learned from my dad a long time ago. My dad had a learning disability when he was growing up. My mom, his mom, my grandma, actually took him to the University of Idaho to have him studied. And back then, they just said he had a slow mind, but he was really ADHD, right? I mean, he had very attention deficit. He couldn't keep his attention on anything. And he learned that he needed to surrender at a very young age. So my dad was at the mercy seat from the time he was very young. He was always at the mercy of the people around him because he was so locked in his head. He couldn't concentrate long enough on anything. He lost faith in himself, during that process. But he also learned to surrender. So there is a balance between having faith in yourself and surrendering at the same time. It's really important to be able to balance that, to be confident and trust in your own decisions, but then at the same time surrender to the universe and say, you're not trying to control what happens. You're just going to do you, just be you, and then whatever healing you need to go through, do that, right? And all of us are healing at an exponential rate, and the more you heal, your awareness is expanding because you're healing conflicts in yourself, which is being reflected into the world around you. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys today. I hope this video is beneficial for you. Like, share, and subscribe if you like it, and we'll see you tomorrow.